have them leave voluntarily, but instead it steeled their resolve. So despite the international outcry in 2009, al-Maliki continued the siege of the camp, denying supplies of food and medicine. And then, of course, in 2011, after the US Camp Grizzly, was disbanded, al-Maliki ordered that assault, that murderous assault in April, which left 36 dead and over 300 injured with gunshot and shrapnel wounds. And, of course, who was the first to congratulate Iraq? It was Iran, congratulating them, and I quote, for their positive stance that strengthens mutual relations. Presumably a stance that was positive because it included killing innocent people that both governments disliked. Of course, there was an international outcry, much hand-wringing in the White House, deeply troubled, it said, by the casualties, not troubled enough to do anything to protect the residents from the massacre that is likely when the US troops finally pull out in December the 21st. That's when al-Maliki's deadline expires. This camp has cost millions to put together. There are libraries, there are buildings, there are schools. It is a living and working camp. It cannot be closed without proper compensation, and it cannot be closed in a way that puts refugees at risk. The law is clear. The people of Ashraf are refugees. They must be entitled to protection from the attacks of al-Maliki's forces. And it is ironic, isn't it, that the Obama administration is giving a free kick to Camp Ashraf's enemies by its failure to lift the terrorist designation on the PMOI. In Britain, the court not only lifted the designation of terrorist, it said that it was perverse, that was its word, to apply it in the first place. In Europe, it's been removed. A year ago, over a year ago, a US court ordered the State Department to reconsider because the designation had been made without due process. The failure of the State Department to do so provides really the tormentors of the Ashraf refugees, by which I mean Iran and pro-Iranian Iraqi government, with a bogus excuse to deny them their rights. There is no doubt that al-Maliki was the man who ordered the attack in 2009. There is no doubt he was the man who ordered the attack in 2011. He bears command responsibility in international law for perpetrating what is a crime against humanity. My suggestion is perhaps that when he comes to Washington next week, he should not be feted, he should be arrested. That is it not truly appalling to any member of the coalition of the willing who thought they were restoring democracy and overthrowing a tyrant to have this kind of tyrannous behavior as the response of the government that they set in power? So, for that reason, my suggestion is that the Camp Ashraf must remain until the very last one of those 3,500 residents are properly processed and are given refuge, the refuge that they're entitled under international law. I believe that they must be given safe passage out of Iraq. The Iranian regime today is the very same regime. It's really the same regime that killed thousands of defenseless MEK political prisoners in 1988. And the greatest objection to Iran developing nuclear weapons is the fact that it's a regime that has already granted itself impunity for mass murder. And unless it is brought to book, it may mass murder again. Thank you.